Hello students, a very good morning to you. How are you? I hope you all okay and doing your study properly. I know you are doing your study very well, so keep it up students. This will be help you for doing a better score in your board exams. So now let's continue the revision of chapter 6 of class 12, that is molecular basis of inheritance. Today we will start a new topic. In our last class we already have studied about different type of experiments on the genetic material, and then again we studied about which is the best genetic material or the properties of the genetic material that fulfills the characters to be present in any organism to carry the genetic information from one organism to another. So today we will discuss about the topic that is the RNA world. As we know that in all living organisms, including plants and animals, all living plants, animals, lower organism, higher organism, all the living animals or plants, they contain two type of nucleic acid. One is DNA and another is RNA. We already studied about DNA. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid, which acts as genetic material in most of the organisms. But now we are going to study about RNA, how RNA also acts as genetic material in many organisms. So let's see, RNA acts as genetic material in some lower organisms, like viruses. Instead of working or acting as genetic material, RNA performs many other functions like adapter, messenger and catalyst. So let's see how RNA made as catalyst or made itself as messenger or adapter. So we will discuss this through different points or many points. RNA means ribonucleic acid, and this is the first genetic material. Before discovery of DNA, almost or RNA is acts as the first genetic material. Ribonucleic acid or RNA acts as the first genetic material in many of the organisms. So first it acts as a catalyst. So why this acts as a catalyst? As we know that the 2' OH group is present in RNA, which makes it more reactive. Due to its reactive character, it acts as catalyst. You know what is catalyst? Those which do not directly participate in the reaction but makes the reaction faster. So I have told you here RNA acts as catalyst. So if the question will ask why RNA acts as catalyst, because it is highly reactive or more reactive. Why it is reactive? Because of presence of 2' OH group in it, means in the ribonucleic acid the 2' OH group is present, which makes more reactive. Clear students? So it also helps in other activities like metabolic activity, metabolic translation, splicing. All these activities are done by RNA. First point, RNA acts as genetic material, means first genetic material. Second point, it acts as catalyst because it is reactive, and the reason behind reactive due to presence of 2' OH. Then third point, it acts as both metabolic, translation and splicing activities which are evolved around RNA. just many times before the discovery of DNA. Many times the discovery of DNA means before discover DNA, all these functions takes place in RNA as this is the first genetic material. Clear students, this is not your NCERT book. I think you understand what I am trying to teach you. Next, it has like DNA, it has also base pairs. Means RNA also contains the base pairs, and those base pairs are RNA also contain base pairs like DNA, and these base pairs are tend to be purine and pyrimidine. Purine and pyrimidine. So purine and pyrimidine is consist of adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. In case of DNA, uracil is replaced by thiamine, but here RNA also contains the base pairs, and the base pairs are adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. They are arranged as base pair. As you know that adenine binds with uracil and guanine binds with cytosine, but they are present as purine and pyrimidine like A, G and Cu. So they are the base pairs of RNA, means A, G and Cu. Clear? But in case of DNA, it is adenine, guanine, cytosine and thiamine, and that makes the base pairs. Next, as we know that there are three type of RNA. One is your mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. Clear? rRNA, mRNA and tRNA. So let's see what are the function of these. You can write these points. Then we will see the type of RNA. RNA is of three types. RNA is of three types. So what are the types of RNA? One is your mRNA, means messenger RNA, then tRNA and then rRNA. Clear? So messenger RNA is messenger, then second one is transfer, and third one is ribosomal RNA. This is called as rRNA. So messenger RNA is called as mRNA. Transfer RNA is called as tRNA. In short, when we will study about translation, then we will study about tRNA in detail. So tRNA is again of two types. It can be said to be soluble RNA or sRNA. sRNA means soluble RNA. Then your ribosomal RNA. Ribosomal RNA means where protein synthesis occurs during translation. So this is denoted as rRNA. You have to remember the name of three type of RNA. RNA, messenger, acts as messenger, helps in the transformation, means tRNA, which has a great role in the translation, means during formation of protein. This is of again can be called as sRNA, means soluble RNA, and third one is ribosomal RNA or rRNA, which has an important role in the protein synthesis mechanism during translation, means when the amino acids are combined to form a protein chain. Clear? So these three type of RNA plays different function during the process of translation and transcription. Next we will study about replication. You know what is replication? Replication means forming copy. Next we will study replication. Replica or replication means forming copy. How DNA forms its replica? DNA forms its replica in semi-conservative way. Means replication of DNA occurs semi-conservatively. So this is also explained by an experiment that is called as semi-conservative DNA replication. We will study this later. Now let's understand who gave the double helical structure or the model of double helical structure of DNA? You know about Watson and Crick. So here Watson gave the double helical structure of DNA, and he said that during replication one strand of DNA. Clear, students? So the DNA replication means it is only a single strand. Suppose this is a DNA 3' hydroxyl to 5' phosphate. 3' hydroxyl, as you know, it is opposite, then 5' phosphate, and here the base pairs are arranged. As I have told you, each contain 10 base pairs, you can make 10 base pairs. So when it divides, means suppose it divides, it will divide like this. It will open and the base pairs are like this. They are arranged like this. And the original strand, suppose this is a DNA strand, this is a DNA strand. These are called as template strand. When it forms its replica or copy, another strand of DNA gets joined like this. Clear? So this is how DNA forms its replica or DNA get replicated. During its replication, the base pairs are arranged, means A, T, G, C, A, T, G, C, A, T, G, C, and so on. So when this open, maybe A, C, C, G, T, A, T, C. So when it divides, I have told you, one acts as template strand and the next strand formed to make a complementary strand is called as coding strand. One is template strand and another is coding strand, which can be seen in DNA replication. Clear, students? So we can say during this one to be considered as template strand, or we can say this as parent strand. Parent strand means template strand and another is your coding strand, means this is newly synthesized strand. Suppose here the diagram, this is parent and here the newly synthesized DNA. If this is contain A, G, then it will contain T, C, T, C. Clear? So always the base pair form is complementary to each other. It means one purine binds with an pyrimidine, purine, pyrimidine. In this way, they make the base pairs and replication occurs. We will study more about this DNA replication while we will study the replication form. So for today, this is all about your topic, the RNA void. In our next class, we will study about the experimental proof of semi-conservative DNA replication.